know what you got until it's gone. Not just a famous song by the band Cinderella coming out of the 80s. With restaurants, sometimes you got a great dish, you love it, it's a favorite, and then poof, it's gone. Just like with Taco Bell's Mexican pizza, which disappeared not too long ago. Gone forever. Except until 2022 when they announced it would be making a limited time comeback. The reason it went away was because of environmental impact. Well, this is the semi-basis for my new show here, Restaurant Remix, where we're going to be taking classic and new versions of restaurant foods that are favorites. We're gonna make them. I'm gonna show you how to make them at home, but with a slight twist, a remix of sorts. Today's debut episode is the Mexican pizza from Taco Bell. Taco Bell's version, had the little tortilla tostadas, ground beef, refried beans, what they call a pizza sauce, but tasted a little bland, not quite a well-seasoned pizza sauce, cheese, tomatoes, and was brought out to you. They cut it in fours, whatever, and a little cardboard box. I'm going to show you how to make a version at home that's slightly better. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some pre-packaged tostadas, ground beef, taco seasoning, diced green chilies. These come mild, medium, and hot. You can use whatever. I'm using medium. Enchilada sauce. Shredded cheese. I got a taco blend. 1 tomato. And green onion. First thing we're going to do is we're going to prep our veggies. Always wash your tomatoes or any produce. Okay. So now we are going to take a knife, just core a tomato. What we're looking for here is a nice dice. Boom. Nice bowl full of tomatoes. Now for the green onion. Looking for thin little strips here. This is mostly just going to be for garnish at the end, so you don't need too much. Of course, if you don't like green onions, I know a lot of people don't, feel free to leave it off. Okay. Boom, our green onions. We can get this out of the way. Now we're going to cook our ground beef. Let the pan get a little hot first. Going on a nice medium high. Move these tostadas out of the way for now. At this time, also, you're going to want to start preheating your oven to 400. As you can see there, 400. We're using the oven pretty much just to melt the cheese, warm the sauce up. The ground beef is going to be cooked, of course. So you want to break your meat up really well here. Now, while that's going, while it's starting to cook, I'm going to take our tostadas here. I'm going to open these up. pan, we have a foil-lined baking sheet. What we're going to do is we're just going to layer some heat on here. 4. You can see we have 4 tostadas here on the sheet pan. Put those aside. Let's check on our beef. That's coming along nicely. I'm going to take our can of semi-drained green chilies and dump that in there. Use as much as you like the green chilies. I go with almost all of them. There's about maybe a tablespoon left in there. So you're going with a couple tablespoons of these fire roasted green chilies. And we're going to continue cooking till the beef is fully cooked. All right, and now we just wait for that to finish browning. Got a nice lovely green tea here today. Always make sure when you're cooking, you stay well hydrated. The heat from the stove, ovens, whichever you're using, can dehydrate you, so you want to stay hydrated. Okay, so our beef is just about done. So we're going to add the seasoning in the water and let it simmer. Our water. And our seasoning. Let me give that a stir. And now we're going to wait for this to get back up to a nice little simmer. And you can see it is there now. So we're going to let that simmer for about 4 minutes or so. Alright, so our ground beef mixture is done here, so we're going to shut that off. We're going to move over to the building. Beef is off. We're going to move over to the building portion of our Mexican pizzas. Okay, here we are. You can see we got our 4 tostadas. We're going to take our taco beef mixture, put a scoop on one, and of course, there's nothing saying you can't add the refried beans that Taco Bell did. We're just mixing it up here. We got the green chilies instead. Now, of course, you don't want to overfill it and have everything all dropping out on you. So put a good amount, but don't overdo it. Good. And now right here we're going to add just a small little bit of cheese, kind of hold it together. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from overloading it. Okay. Let's take 4 more tostada shells. Plop it right on top. That's not a full tostada shell. That'll become nachos later on. And boom. Great. Now we're going to add our enchilada sauce. This comes in mild or hot. So if you like the mild, you're not quite sure of the spiciness, get that. If you want to kick it up an extra notch, go for the hot, but be mindful, some of these brands can get really hot with their enchilada sauce. I don't mind the heat. I've got the hot. You just want to add a nice little layer here. Great. of course, what's the pizza without cheese on top? Boom. Boom. Fantastic. Last thing before it goes into the oven, top it with some tomatoes. Great. All right, now we're just going to pop these in the oven. Really only need them in there for 7-8 minutes. Keep an eye, each oven varies. I basically just want to melt the cheese, melt the sauce and the shells. All right, so it's been 7 minutes. We're going to pull these out of the oven. They're looking good. Oh yeah, these look fantastic. Now we're going to top them with our green onions. This looks fabulous. We're going to cut one and give it a try. Careful not to touch the pan as it's going to be hot. Here we go. Just like I remember. Very tasty. Green chilies give that ground beef a good flavor. The hot enchilada sauce and the cheese give it a nice pizza-like texture and taste. I mean, this just like what we remember. And remix up into just as good, if not better. Stay tuned for episode 2. Thanks for joining us.